In this video, I'm going to show you how to make an adjustable dog collar. So this collar is for a large dog, but you can find all the sizes listed on my website in the blog post. There's also a downloadable pattern, and you can choose your dog collar based on the size of your dog. You may need to measure their neckline, but otherwise you can choose based on breed. So you're going to collect your supplies. You're going to need some hardware. You'll need a clasp, an adjustable slide, and either a D-ring or an O-ring. I'm going to use an O-ring for this one, and that is to connect the collar to the leash. And then these are metal, but if you have a smaller dog, especially if it's just a little dog or a cat, I would recommend using plastic because the metal's pretty heavy. And then you'll need a piece of fabric. Now the sizes are all listed on my blog. And there's a link in the description, or you can just print the pattern piece and go from there. So you're going to first fuse interfacing to the back of your fabric piece, and I'm using Shape Flex interfacing. It gives it a really nice crisp look. So then after you do that, we're going to fold it in half and press, and then use that crease to fold in the edges like that. And then we're going to press it again in half so that that's going to be our collar. So press first in half to get a crease, then bring the edges in, press, and fold in half. Okay, now you have your collar piece. We are going to top stitch on both sides 1/8 of an inch from the edge. So the top stitching will give that collar a nice finish and also close off the open edge. So now we have our collar strip. We're going to use the hardware to put it together. On one side, we'll start with this side of the clasp and the D or O ring. Okay, so on one end of your collar, we're gonna fold under 1/4 inch and press, and then another 1.5 or 2 inches and press. And then what we're going to do is thread on the female part of the clasp. First the ring, and then the female part of the clasp. And then we're going to sew that to secure with a rectangle of stitching, and you're going to go over that about 2 times. So we want the ring, the D-ring or the O-ring, to be on the outside of the collar for the leash, so make sure it's on top of the nice part of the clasp. So once you've finished that part, we are going to slide the adjustable slide onto the collar. So I like to turn the buckle over so you see the face of it, to guide me as I slide this on. So we want them to all be facing up here. The next step is to take the other side of the clasp, and I like to buckle it in so I know which way I'm trying to get it on there. So we're going to go over the top of that, and then back through the buckle slide. So pull that through, and then the very last step is to do exactly what we did on the other part. We're going to fold under a 1/4 inch here and press, and then pull it out about 1.5 inches or 2 inches, and we're going to secure the other end of the collar right there, and that will give us the collar shape we need and that adjustable slide. See how we'll be able to adjust it there. So just go ahead and press that pretty well, and then top stitch around in a rectangle pattern and go over it 2 or 3 times to hold it nice and tight. So after you've sewn that part, your collar is all ready to go. To adjust it, just pull on the fabric underneath the slide. And you can check out lots more dog projects on my website.